Cardi B, once again, in the headlines. This time not for throwing mics, for punching people at the clubs, for dropping her album. This time is for merch.
It's for her running her mouth, per usual.
Okay, so let me read this to you, y'all. So Cardi B is facing backlash after jokingly calling fans fat
bleep.
Okay, we're gonna play the clip so you'll hear from the mouth, from the source. During a live stream when her largest merch size, a 3XL, sold out. Plus size creator, I think is her name's Samyra. I'm sorry if I believe that's how mispronouncing. Okay. So plus size creator Samyra criticized the remark as fatphobic and highlighted the lack of inclusive sizing in merch. Cardi responded dismissively, telling Samyra to, quote, shut up, and insisting it was an inside joke with fans, not meant to offend. She refused to apologize or read suggested books on fatphobia, saying she jokes about everyone and people should laugh at themselves.
What I wanted to tell y'all is that we really underestimated the box sets. So the box sets are completely sold out, especially because you fat fucks, clearly you guys are fat as fuck. No Chick-fil-A for y'all. All the 3X sold out. Yo, the 3X sold out like in 20 minutes. Now, knowing that my fans is fat, I can't even make fun of fat people no more.
Cardi B, I'm very surprised that I have to remind you of this, but just because someone else makes a joke doesn't mean you have to make it too. You know that, right? And also, maybe the reason why people feel so comfortable making fun of your BBL is because you do not command the respect that you so seek. Maybe if you stop using fat people at the expense of jokes, then people wouldn't do the same for your BBL. No, they shouldn't be making fun of your BBL. But also, no, you shouldn't be making fun of fat people. And neither should they. But if you are going to sit here and still say it's not that serious and offer a cupcake in the camera to anybody who is so upset by it, well, I'm going to offer you a few books that I recommend for you to understand why fatphobia is something so serious and something that should not be taken lightly and something that should not be joked about, especially by someone as powerful as you. You are powerful. You are talented. And I am happy that your 3XL merch sold out. I am happy that you now see that you have fat fans. But if you would like to keep those fat fans, please consider unlearning fatphobia and standing up for them instead of standing against them.
Right. So it's you excitingly waiting for me to talk.
I want to know what
you think I'm the plus size spokesperson. No, stop.
Not the spokesperson, but in our duo, yeah.
Okay, so for me, right now, I'm gonna preface this by saying I keep track of Cardi B in terms of when we're gonna talk about her, or like when she's going through something, and I really I have no choice but to look at it. But I'm not a part of Cardi B's fan base, right? So that's the first thing that I want to mention. I think when it comes to plus size people, we are not a monolith. What doesn't offend me doesn't mean shouldn't offend somebody else, right? But also the things that don't offend me are because I grew up in in an environment, in a household where what she said about y'all being fat, whatever is I've heard 10 times worse. So to me, it doesn't, and I'm not saying that makes it good, and I'm not saying it makes it bad. I'm just saying for me, that's not the truth in terms of offense for me. So people were also under Samyra's video saying mind your business, this, that, and third. People, Cardi B's fans were basically coming at her so bad to the point where she decided to take a break off of social media, right? And so there were some people who were saying making comments you just mad because you're big, you choose to be like that, you're this, you're that, you're why would you even speak on this? Why would you even be bothered? She wasn't even talking to you. I think people need to understand the term and phrase activist. She has been an activist for plus size inclusivity when it comes to different brands, when it comes to all this different stuff, when it comes to the plus size community. She has been speaking out on this type of stuff. So for her to say, hey, I don't think you should have said that because when it comes to merch, a lot of them aren't inclusive. And it is true. There's times where I've gone to different concerts and they don't have my size and stuff like that. But also, I'm not into graphic tees, like t-shirts and stuff like that. So,
but that still doesn't make it.
Right. It doesn't make it fair.
Right.
But for me, I don't get like emotional or nothing about it, and that's not something I would sit there and be like, I need to send 10 toes on, because again, it's nothing of my interest. But I get exactly where she's coming from. So I see, like, do I think that Cardi B was joking with her fans? It happens. Fans, yes. Do I think Cardi B was joking with her fans and stuff like that? Yes. Do I think Samyra has a place to feel like she could be offended? Yes, because two things can be true at the same time. Do I think that, as someone who has said things that do offend people, and I understand when it comes to the word intention is very important as well. If Cardi B was originally speaking directly to Samyra and called her a fat bleep and said, oh, like, you went and bought my merch and stuff like that, then I'm gonna be like, all right, you doing too much.
Right.
But I think the fact that, like, she was talking with her fans and stuff like that is another point, because Shayla and I talk all the time, and I'd be like, girl, my big back self, like, let me tell you, like, the egregious thing I was doing. I was like, girl, it was really giving high calorie individual. Like, look what I was doing. Like, I make those jokes about myself.
Yeah.
And like, if somebody else heard me say that, and they are more sensitive and like, especially if they're a player of the plus size community, and they're like, I was offended when you said that, even though you were talking about yourself, it made me look different, like look at myself differently, then I would tell them, I apologize for making you feel that way. I'm not going to apologize for what I said, because I'm not going to switch up how I talk just because that offended you, because again, we don't live the same realities. So what offends you is going to offend you. What offends me is going to offend me. We don't get offended by the same things. And if we happen to do so, great, we connect. But if we don't, life, right? So I just think, for me, I see from both perspectives, where she was like, Cardi B being dismissive because that wasn't her intention to offend her. She was talking to her fans.
She even said, like, oh, my PR person told me to do this, but I'm not going to apologize.
Because I think also what it is there's times where, like, all these celebrities apologize, and I'm just like, what are you apologizing for? If you stand behind that, stand 10 toes. Because now it gets foo-foo, and you gonna switch up for what? If that's how you felt, speak on that, say that, and stand behind that. There's things that I say that people will not agree with me with. But if I'm telling you I stand 10 toes on that, you can't tell me that I need to switch up how I'm gonna be or what I'm gonna say. Yeah. So it's like, do I think Samyra has a point? Yes. Do I think Cardi B has a point? Yes. Do I think that two things can be true? Yes. Do I think that Cardi B could be wrong in this situation? Absolutely, because the people who are going to be offended are going to be offended. Because there's even some people who are her fans who were offended, who are plus size and did buy that merch. So it's like, you can't speak for everybody. Even though I'm plus size, when I heard Cardi B say that, okay, cool. Go about your day.
Yeah, I think I also am on the same boat as you. I feel like they both have their points. And I think when you are raised in a Caribbean household, again, I'm just going to say this, like, raised by a Dominican mother, very fatphobic. Like, and so when you're raised in that type of environment, not saying that is
your
right.
Your sensitivity level is completely different.
If Natalie, you watching this, my cousin, we know, like, I was always the chubby child. So I would always get, like, those smart remarks all the time. And I got used to it. Did I feel good about it? No. But when you're just accustomed to something, you get older and it's like normal, right? Cardi B also made a point. She's like, oh, well, everybody make fun of my BBL and, and I just live with it, da-da-da-da. I genuinely don't think that Cardi B meant it to be, like, disrespectful. Malicious. She always makes smart remarks and says, like, funny comebacks and, like, this is how you should wash your vagina. Like, she always has those types of vibes. But on the other side is, like, you can't tell a community how they should, like, receive something, right? Because I strongly believe if you're not a part of a community, you can't tell them how to feel about it, right? She not a part of the plus size community. So if someone who did feel offended, then that's just, it is what it is. If she didn't want to, if Cardi B chose not to apologize for it, Cardi B is known to stand on business, 10 toes. Like, she'll hit the courts, okay? So it's just like, I think Samyra her point was very valid. I think we still do live in a very fatphobic society, which is, especially now with the increase of, like, all the drugs to lose weight and, like, it's like shoved down your throat, like, oh, well, you're big because you want to, and all of these things. we definitely need to work on that in as a society, but I don't think that Cardi B meant bad or like wrong.
And I think also what it is like people are like, oh, people don't know like jokes. And I feel like a lot of times people need to understand a lot of jokes are rooted in different types of phobias, right? There's homophobic jokes, there's fatphobic jokes, like there's like religious jokes, like there's like everything is rooted in something. And again, like I said, just because you're a part of a community doesn't mean like you are not a monolith. Like you are allowed to feel how you want to feel.
Right.
And that doesn't mean that you should feel invalidated, which is why when I say, Shayla will tell you, I say offensive things all the time.
Yeah.
But if somebody tells me I offended them, I will tell them like, and if it really wasn't my intention, I will tell you, I apologize for making you feel that way. And people think that when you apologize for making someone like saying, I'm sorry I made you feel that way, people think that I'm trying to be dismissive or like
a backhanded
like
apology.
a backhanded apology. But for me, it's not that way for me, because I don't, unless I choose to, but I don't intentionally all the time go out of my way to make someone feel bad or feel bad about themselves in any type of way. But if I hurt your feelings, that wasn't my intention. I will apologize for hurting your feelings. But if I do not feel like what I said, I would not say again. If I feel like I would say it again, I'm not going to apologize for saying that.
Yeah, I think this situation will definitely bring spotlight to the issue, right? Like being more inclusive with merch sizes. Like something as simple as like, yes, the whole talk of it came because of the Cardi B and the whatever. But I think at the end of the day, it is going to bring up the conversation of like, as an artist, why do you only go up to XL? You know what I mean? Like it will bring in important conversation that needs to be had. And I hope that they're able to talk it out. Who knows?
Yeah. Like,
but I think both of them would definitely, like a collab or something would be good. I don't think she meant bad by it.
I don't think she did either. But again, like I said, like growing up, because I was always the heavier set girl, the plus size girl, like even Shayla and I were talking upstairs in my room, we were saying like, I was the type of person who was always included in like the yo mama jokes and things like that. And Shayla was always the person like, not. I feel like once you understand your sensitivity level, you know what to keep yourself into and you know what to not put yourself into. Like for me, I'll never forget this one yo mama joke. It's funny as like,
you're not gonna say
it. It was towards me.
No, but let's not.
They say, your mama is so fat, you are the mama. That